All right, so for this class, we're gonna take a step back a little bit and we're gonna talk more about y equals mx plus b. And then in order to do that, we gotta figure out how to plot graphs from linear equations, but also how to use graphs to form the linear equations. So for today, we're gonna look at these two things. I'll review them. This is being recorded, so you could always go back and watch it. And there's a whole bunch of stuff on YouTube too, all right? I know how to do this stuff, but sometimes I still go online just to look up stuff. I want to see how other people are doing it. I could do this in my sleep, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to stop researching it. All right. So it's more so of learning always continues. All right. Don't ever feel like because you understand something, you should stop learning it. All right. So, and then we'll do two of the Desmos activities. So I'm going to pull up my whiteboard so that we could, first part of it is linear equations from graph, forming linear equations from graphs. So I'm gonna put this right here, forming linear equations from graphs. And please take notes, something. Because whenever you're working your own problems, you could go back and watch this and just look at the pattern. Because math is about patterns and concepts. And the moment you know how to do one concept, you could apply that one concept to a lot of problems. All right, so forming linear equations from graphs. I'm going to start out with just a regular graph. I have my y-axis and my x-axis. Y and x. All right, so say for instance, we have this equation or this graph right here, bam. And let's say it goes through 2. This is how we're gonna start solving these problems. I feel like it's a lot easier. I'm gonna write y equals mx plus b. All right, y equals mx plus b. Resume recording. And so when I write my equation out, if I get a graph and they're like, what's the equation of the line? I'm gonna go ahead and write my equation out. That's where I'm gonna start. All right, so then now I know I need to find m and I need to find b. I could look at my graph and tell what b is. So I'm gonna write my equation with b in it. Y equals mx, and then b is 2 because b represents the y-intercept. My mx plus 2. Now the only thing I need to find is m. And I'm doing it this way because I want us to start get into the hang of things. So I start out by writing my equation, and then I substituted b. All right. Now the next part that I need to do is I need to find what m is, which is the slope. So this point right here, could someone tell me what this point is? When I say point, I mean what is the x value and what is the y value? So if I was supposed to put it in this form, wait, this is 0. If I was supposed to put it in this form, we know that the y is 2, but what is the x?
0.
0, 2, that is correct. 0, 2. So now I know that so let's say this is 4, right? Then let's say this matches up to, let's do another one. And when you see this green line that I'm drawing, when you see me draw this is me just matching up. If this was on a graphing line, the lines would already be there. You wouldn't have to match it up. Let me redraw this because it's not looking good. Green right here. And then say, let's put another one. Let's say 6. This is 6, y'all. And it goes over. And then here. All right, so if I wanted to have a constant slope, could you guys put in the chat, what would be my x values if I wanted a constant slope? So I went from 2 to 4, 4 to 6. This is 0. Yeah, so if I do, this is 2, and this is 4. All right. 3, 6. Let's do, actually, yes, that is correct. Why do we do 2 matchups instead of 1? I got a question asking, why do we do 2 matchups instead of 1? And I'm just writing it in. You could do 1, but I'm just writing it in so that we see that it works for all of them. I'd put, yes, that is correct. It's 3, 6. Also, no, I need to figure out what the constant is, which is the slope. So I'm going to do y equals, and then remember I say it's rise over run. I'm going to write this right here again. M, which is also known as the slope, is equal to the rise over the run. Rise as in you're going up, and run meaning you're going forward. Because people don't run up unless you're running up a hill, but it doesn't work that way. We run on a flat surface, and the flat surface could be diagonal, but we rise. If there wasn't gravity, we would be rising. So let's look at this. So we rise up 2, all right, but we go over 2. And then if I check this one again, I rise up 2. Ooh, this should be 1. Let's look at this. So that's 0. Yes. Y'all should have stopped me. Because if you look at it, the 2, 0, which means this next number right here, in order for it to be a constant, would need to be 1. And this is 2. Let's put it that way. I like it that way, actually. So this is saying that I go up 2 and over 1. And this is saying that I go up 2 and then over 2. Am I doing the right stuff, y'all? So we went back and we changed our 1, 2 to 2, 3. And this is kind of how you could go through and see if it's really a constant graph. Because remember, your slope represents a constant. So we have 2, 4, we have 3, 6. Right here should be 1. Let's try this one now. And again, if everyone's like wondering what's happening, all I'm doing is I'm switching out these numbers because I want my M to be constant. This is not something you do normally, but it's good to go through and see how this all connects. All right, so say for instance, I have 4, 1, 4, and 3, 6 now. So we have 2 over 2, which is 1. And then we have 0, interesting. Continue this. So right now we have our graph, and it's the rise over run. So if here I look at it, I realize if I go up 2 over 1, that's my slope. My rise is 2, and I go over 1. I could also check it on this side. I go up 2, from 4 to 6 is up 2, and then I go over 1. So right here it says 2 over 1. Right. So someone had put it in the chat. If we look at this, 2 over 1 is the same thing as 2. Someone had said in the chat that the equation is y equals 2 over 1 x. We don't have to write 2 over 1 because 2 over 1 is x. All right? Anything over 1 is itself. In reality, we don't count 1 over 1, 2 over 1, and 3 over 1. We just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and continue. So this is 2x plus 2. And my slope is positive because it goes in that direction. So just to recap, I write up my equation. I find what b is, and then I find what my slope is. Okay? I write out my equation, I find what b is, and then I find what the slope is. So let me put in another one, but this time we are going to use some negative numbers. Let's see how that works. All right, so we have this graph, and it goes through the third quadrant, going in the fourth quadrant, and then it goes up to the fifth quadrant. We could see the intercept. We saw that it goes to -4, -1, -6, and -2, the points. So my first step, I'm going to write my equation. All right, that's where I'm going to start. And then I know I need to find what m is and what b is. All right. This is going to be a negative graph, right? Negative graph, because it goes like this. Remember, graphs that go from left to right but are going up are not negative, sorry, a positive graph. Graphs that go from left to right that are going up is going to be positive. Anyway, continuing, I write my equation, and then now I need to find out what my b is. From looking at this, my b is -2, right? Y equals mx plus -2. But I know a positive and a negative makes a negative. So instead of writing plus -2, I'm just going to write -2. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and write -2. Okay. Now I need to find what my slope is. So let's go here. I go down 6 and then over 1. I have to go down 4 and over 1, right? So let's go from this point, -2 to -4. So I go down 2 over 1. And then from -4 to -6 is down 2. And then I still had to go over 1, from -1 over to -2. So my rise, in this case, it's my fall. It's my fall over run. All right, because I'm going down 2 each time. I'm going down by -2, but then I'm also having a run of -1. And then a negative divided by a negative is positive, and 2 divided by 1 is 2. So my slope is y equals 2x minus 2. All right. And this is kind of how we go in and solve and find b and find what m is. And it just takes time and practice.